Hello, my crafty friends. I was in the process of making this Slimline Thanksgiving card, decided I would make it a pop-up using just a simple box pop-up inside, and then thought, no, it's a good opportunity to do a tutorial. It's been a while since I've done a simple box pop-up tutorial, and I've got a lot of new followers, so welcome to my channel. And yeah, we'll just do a simple tutorial on how to make a box pop-up inside your card. This is a Slimline card folded. It is 3.5 by 8.5 inches, and that's my favorite size of Slimline. It fits perfectly in a number 10 business envelope for mailing or a number 9, which are a little bit harder to find, but they fit a little bit snugger. And yeah, so those are the two envelope sizes. They're easily available in Canada and the US. I'm not sure about other countries, but Slimline cards are still very, very popular. So I'm sure that everyone can find the number 10 business envelopes or a similar size. And of course, you can always make your own envelopes if you're stuck. So I used pattern paper that I've had for a very long time. It's the Fall Fling. It's a 6x6 patterned paper from Lawn Fawn. I think it was kind of a mistake to buy it. And I don't say that very often about pattern paper because I love pattern paper. But I did a quick flip through it. I was in a hurry. I had grabbed a couple things that I was really excited about. So, you know, you're kind of on that high. And the store owner said, oh, we just got some new Lawn Fawn in. And I had a look and I loved this one. And yeah, I like the colors, cool, and added it to my cart. And then every year I get it out and go, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just personal taste. I wasn't inspired by it more than disliked it. I just wasn't inspired. However, I did like that one. This year I've decided I'm using it up, and I have. I've got some cards that will be posted, A2 cards. I used a sheet load, and my Thanksgiving cards are all using this, and then it's used up, and I don't need to kind of go, next Thanksgiving when I'm making cards. I'm in Canada, so the Canadian Thanksgiving is in October. I'm filming this on the 11th of August, and I'm not sure when I'm going to post it on my blog and on YouTube, but I've been working a little bit on my Thanksgiving cards. So I did add my panels ahead of time, and because this is a 6-inch paper pad, of course, it wouldn't fill the whole front. So I just added some strips, and then that pretty gold there, that is a sheet of gold peel-offs. And I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure I got these ones from Elizabeth Craft Designs many, many years ago. In Canada, Ecstasy Crafts sells them. You might be able to get them from Stamp On It in the US, but there is, and I can't believe I can't think of it, but there is a place in the UK that a lot of people order theirs from too. And I have done that when they've had a sale. So they're just peel-offs, add them on, and I wrap them around, and I'll show you that one. We do the inside. I wrap them around before I adhere the panel down. Things Give Thanks. That is the Mini Strips Harvest, which is from Tailored Expression. So I store them in these little Sizzix pockets and separate them in little bags, and they are left over from embellishment packages. So it's a single stamp, and you stamp it one time, and then there is a die, and so one stamping and one pass through your machine gives you, I think, 9 different sentiments. So I just kind of go in an evening and stamp them in different colors and die cut them, put them in the bag, and then I'm good to go for Thanksgiving for a while. I also have the Halloween. I've got St. Patrick's Day. I think they're brilliant, and I've been using them since they came out. So again, that is from Tailored Expressions. This gold leaf we are putting on the front here, and that is a Divinity Designs quilted leaf. So it comes in 2 parts. I absolutely love that one. So here I've cut it from the orange pattern paper, and then the solid image was cut from the gold mirrored cardstock, which I thought gives the card some shine. And then we are going to pop up, where is it here? We are going to pop up this little Hello Fall, and that's done with Autumn Greetings from Simon Says Stamps. I'm not sure if it still is available or not, but that's the stamp that I used, some more of the pattern paper. And then this sprig is the Sprig Punch, and that's from Stampin' Up. Again, I'm not sure if it's still available. I just have fun using things in my craft room. I bought them to use them, so I do. And the ovals that I used are the Hero Arts nesting ovals. So I'm going to move some of this out of the way here, and then we can start on the tutorial. I've also got some sequins. These are Studio Katia, the Gold Fever. I really like Studio Katia sequins. So we're going to add a pop-up box inside our card, but of course I wanted it kind of I wanted the inside decorated as well. So I cut a panel, and my decorative panels are generally a 1/4 inch smaller. So as I said, this was 3.5 by 8.5. So my decorative panel is 3.25 by 8.25. And that just gives me a nice border or even edge around on all of the outside edges. And that's what I did here as well. So for this inside panel, I've added the pattern paper top and bottom, and then more of those peel-offs. And you can see I just wrap them around to the inside so that they're nice and secure once I tape it on. I have my yogurt jar with a damp paper towel, which dried out overnight, so it did get a little bit yellowed, but still works fine, and I will replace that paper towel in a bit here. Art glitter glue today with a hairband on the outside. That was a tip from a viewer, and I use it all the time. Thank you. And then my stainless steel pin I put in upside down. I always know where my pin is, and I don't stab myself. Whereas if I put the pin in the right way, then I stab myself. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. Now it comes out nice and fine. So I'm just going to add, usually I add just dots of glue, but I find with slimline panels, sometimes that glue will dry a little bit too fast. So I like my corners to be secured down. Adding the glue inside that jar with the damp paper towel keeps the glue from drying out, and I don't have to keep replacing the tip. So I'm going to add this panel in here. The wet glue gives me a little bit of wiggle room, and I can see now that it is centered and where I want it to be. So that is now glued down. And now we can add our little pop-up box. So these can be many different sizes. I didn't want a whole lot of depth, so I think my depth is only a 1/2 inch there. So you're going to take a 6-inch piece of cardstock. So this one is 6 by 1.5 inches. And you're going to score it at a 1/2 inch, 3 inches, and 3.5 inches. And that gives you your box. So that's what I have here. And I actually cut it out of a scrap of the pattern paper, and I'm going to do it inside out, because when you put it inside, you can kind of see that pattern a little bit when you look through it. And so much of it is going to be glued down. If I did it the other way, the 1/2 inch piece is glued to the card. This piece down here is also glued inside the base of the card. So and then you glue something on top of it. So all you would see of the pattern is the little piece on the outside there. So I like it better to do it this way, but I mean, you can also use solid color cardstock. I was just trying to use this up. Basically why I made the box pop up out of the pattern paper. So I will leave that there for you. And now that our inside panel is in, we can add this, and the inside panel is personal preference. You don't have to add it. I just like to decorate the inside of my card a little bit. So we're going to fold this completely in half. So I've got the fold on the right, and I've got the little 1/2 inch score line on the top, and the larger one is on the bottom. And I'm going to add some glue just on this 1/2 inch piece. So I'm not crossing that score line. In fact, I'm staying a little bit away from the score line, and I'm going to push it right into the fold. I want it nice and close into that fold line. And I think about right there is where I want it. Again, you can play with this idea. Close the card around that exposed glue, give it a good press, and it is now attached on there. So that's perfect. I'm going to bring it up close here so you can see it is right up against the score line, not against this panel. It's against the score line. You can probably see better here, the score line. There's a little bit of a gap between the panel, right? Because we have our even border around. So you just want to make sure you're not putting your box pop-up against the panel. It needs to be in the score line. So we're going to leave it attached on the left side there, and we're going to add glue to this big panel here. Now there's this 1/2 inch. We're not going to add any glue on that 1/2 inch piece, just on this piece here. And again, this might look complicated. It's really easy. It's more complicated when I'm having to do the talking or talking you through it. But you just cut your strips, score it, fold it, add adhesive to one side of the card or to the left side of your card, add adhesive to the right side, and ta-da, you've got a box pop-up. And for that, you can add anything you want to it. The only thing you have to watch, for instance, this oval is going to fit in here, and it's going to stay within the perimeter of the card as the card closes. But if it was any larger, or if I had a different shape, it would stick out. So that's kind of the only thing you have to watch. And so place it on, use removable tape if you want, but just try to make sure it's going to stay within the confines of the card. And this one just barely fits. So I nested some ovals together. This one is on with foam tape, and I have another sprig here. I added the hello to the blue or the teal patterned paper with thin foam tape, but I just put the foam tape in the center, so that kind of gives me room to add things underneath. And to do that, I just add a little bit of glue to the front and a little bit of glue to the back, because I'm never really sure where it's going to catch, and this way my bases are covered. I'm going to just pop it in there, arrange it where I want it. I think maybe I'll have it stick out a little bit longer. The sprigs were punched from another one of the pattern paper scraps. So my sprig's on, and now I'm going to add some glue just in the center here and add my hello. Now I do want the hello fall, like I want to watch that the words are good, but I also can't have that sprig sticking out. So I'm going to turn it a little bit. Oh, you know what? That sprig might be a problem. So I'm going to just trim a little bit of it off. And the beauty of wet glue, of course, is I was able to pull that up. And I don't want to waste this little piece here, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue to it, the front and the back. I know I brought my tweezers over because I craft with tweezers. And let's just stick that in there. Where do I want it? That works. Okay, let's try it again. Add some glue here, add my hello, watch that the words are good and that it stays inside. And by words are good, I just kind of want them straight. And now it stays in the card. I'll move it over another little bit. Again, that's the beauty of wet glue. You can shimmy things, you have a second or two, and there we are. It is inside the card. Doesn't stick out, pops up nicely. There's room to write a sentiment. Nice, quick and easy card. I'm going to add my quilted leaf here, and I already started the foam tape lifting because sometimes it can be tricky to get off. So I'm going to add that here. Now, one of the things I like about this size of a slimline, as I said, this is the 3.5 by 8.5. Another popular size is 4 by 9, and the 4 by 9 fits really nicely in those business envelopes. But you can see I've got some overhang here. That works because the number 10 envelope is a little bit bigger. So you can actually have things hang over the edge a little bit when you're using a number 10 envelope and the 3.5 by 8.5 inch size. So there's my card there. I'm going to add some sequins. I usually pour these into the Studio Katia little triangular tray, and then I have the wand that I use to pick up the sequins, and I didn't bring those over, so we're going to wing it here. So I'm going to add, I know I want a sequin here, and I better not add more glue because I might not be able to find where it is with all of that pattern on there. So I will just add a little sequin. So I'm going to add a sequin here and here. It's hard to find the glue when it's so busy. I know there's one there. There we go. And another one here. Oh, it's so much easier with the wand. I can't believe I didn't bring that over. But it's kind of subtle, shine, and I love a little bit of sparkle on a card. You can add more sequins if you want. You can even add some inside, and in fact, I think I will. Since they're sitting on the counter there, I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here and another one of the sequins. Well, that being said, there, yeah, I like that. So there it is, a quick and easy slimline pop-up card for Thanksgiving. You can do these in any theme. It doesn't have to be an oval that you put on it. You could put a leaf, anything that's going to fit inside the confines of the card. You can have a sentiment block, squares, longer rectangles. Yeah, lots of variety that you can make with this card, and it's just a little something extra inside when the recipient opens it up. If you enjoyed my video today, please hit that like button, subscribe to see more, and that's it for me today.